Bonsoir. I have to tell you, I am very nervous about speaking French phrases. So I thank you in advance for your kindness and your compassion. I have been traveling to Paris for the past 10 years, primarily on business, but then someone in this audience introduced me to the Paris International Lesbian and Feminist Film Festival, my friend Jules. Yes. And so I started coming to Paris for that festival. And I've also had the great pleasure of meeting wonderful sisters of color here, lesbians of color here, some who are here in this audience. And I just want to publicly say thank you, Nao, thank you, Kay, thank you, Maruni, thank you, Sabrine, thank you, Franciella, thank you to all of the wonderful lesbians of color who have received me over the years. In fact, some of the gems in this book came through my experience with these sisters. There are multiple reasons for writing the book. One, I wanted to share with my sisters in the U.S. your wonderful city from a lesbian of color, feminist, spiritualist perspective. I'm interested in my sisters at home when we travel, that we develop a transnational feminist perspective, a lens when we go abroad, that we are not the ugly Americans when we travel. My sister comrade at UC Berkeley, Paula Paqueta, wrote the foreword to this book, and I thank her as well. During our book launch in August, Paula reminded us that for large numbers of people who travel in the world, it is not by choice. And she reminded us that through forced migration, many people have to travel to escape, dire economic situations, religious persecution, political persecution, what have you. So I want to again thank Paula for reminding us of that. I am aware of that, and this is again some of the issues that I want to bring to my community, to our communities, that travel is, for us, for many of us, a privilege. And with that ideal in mind, we give thanks and praises for the ancestors. We give thanks and praises for the safe passage of those who are traveling under whatever circumstances. And we'll begin soon with our sister Kay. So welcome to my world, right? Travel Blog 9. Racial Perceptions and Mistaken Identity. After a long business trip that spanned multiple countries in a couple of weeks, I was preparing to return to the U.S. and was waiting for my San Francisco flight in Charles de Gaulle Airport. The airport was buzzing with activity and passengers rushed to and from the nearby food stalls. I was standing at a cafe counter, drinking coffee and having a bite to eat before my flight. I had arrived at the airport early and had ample time to enjoy my breakfast and people watch. I watched airport service workers perform various tasks, stocking supplies, cleaning equipment, and opening vendor kiosks. Near me was a black female worker who was emptying trash bins and mopping the floor. I silently admired her diligence and dignity as she went about her task. She appeared to be in her late 30s and was wearing a headscarf. At one point, the worker left her cleaning cart to step away to clean another area. In her absence, white travelers approached me to ask directions to the restroom and other service-oriented questions. After a brief moment of bewilderment, it occurred to me that they all, I'm sorry, I'm having that moment again. let me start, okay? I'm back there at that airport. Let's do this again. In her absence, white travelers approached me to ask directions to the restroom and other service-oriented questions. After a brief moment of bewilderment, it occurred to me that all they saw was another black woman with a head wrap standing near a rubbish bin. In their minds, that meant a service worker. Apparently, none of the white travelers who approached me had noticed my luggage and the boarding pass sticking out from a pouch dangling from my neck. In other words, I was not a fellow traveler. A white passenger was talking to me when the service worker returned to her cart. She had been watching people approach me. When she reached her cart, we made eye contact and smiled in silent recognition. Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris, 2007. This is my gift to my sisters who are thinking of traveling abroad. It is to inspire visualization and transformation via travel. Release and flow. As you start to envision your trip to Paris, begin with preparing yourself for an inner journey. Allow yourself to jettison internal and external negative messages that may have prevented you from fulfilling your travel desires. Write them down if you need to. Expand your heart chakra, that energetic origin of feelings of love, grace, tenderness, respect, generosity, and joy. Allow yourself to envision your travel experience with the innocence and wonderment of a child. As you traverse the sky high above the clouds in flight to your destination, use the time to enter a liminal state, envisioning yourself stepping through a portal of transformation, resplendent with appealing sights and sounds. During your travel, give yourself permission to be socially engaged and not a mere spectator or tourist. Be willing to be vulnerable, awestruck, energized, and pleasantly surprised by new insights and self-discoveries.
Is blowing 1,000 words upon my lips. In empty-hearted hours, feel her pounding in my chest till I quiet down. Giving me shelter, giving me shelter from the storm, from the storm. Giving me shelter, giving me shelter from the storm, from the storm. Her borders are the unknown that I can taste in the silver smoke raindrops that she cries. Empty-hearted hours, I feel her pounding in my chest till I quiet down. Giving me shelter, giving me shelter from the storm, from the storm.
Thank you.
to find that pot of gold. I bet you never thought you can move that mountain, even though, yes, you have felt your strength before. It's been too hard for you to express it, let alone for you to confess about how you feel inside and what's really on your mind. Go and cry, it's a sign that you are real. Because my dream is just like your dream. You never thought you've been touched by an angel, even though you felt happiness before.